Okay, the day is finally here. It's been 30 days. You can see the bag has separated almost entirely. The fat side has continued to shrink up, and it's really very hard. So what you'll need is a good sharp knife. I use a fillet knife because you'll see that we're gonna carve the bark off of the outside, and having a knife that's slightly flexible will be a good thing to not waste any of the actual good meat inside. Some sort of cutting board, you know, I just use these flexible things. And then I got the food saver out because we're gonna shrink wrap some of this, and here's where we'll pile up the steaks that we cut. So first thing you wanna do is just get it out of the bag. And get ready for meat, aroma, awesomeness. Oh my goodness, it just smells so good. It's really incredible. It's nice and solid. Once you get the bag off, you'll see there's no blood. There's really no mess. All of this is hard, like a bark type material, still soft meat inside. There's a little bit of you know, I guess that's probably a little bit of molding there on the top, which is totally normal. And you can see both end pieces. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to just start on one end. And why don't you come around on this side, because since I'm right-handed, you'll be able to see it better. And all I'm gonna do is make a nice even cut right along the end. And it'll take me a couple times to get through it. But I want to start with just a nice even end, and you can see how that meat in there, it's soft, it's marbled, it's almost like a purple color. Oh, it smells so fantastic. And what we'll do with this is when we trim this up, it'll be kind of in a regular piece. So we'll just use this for chopped meat, or, you know, maybe we'll sear this up. You could actually eat this raw if you wanted to try it. But what we'll do next is cut off the other end. And this will be a little bit more waste just up here at the top, because I want to get it parallel to the other side, so I end up with as many full-size steaks as I can. And I did sharpen this knife, so you definitely want a sharp knife. Oh, this side's even better. I wish you could smell. It's like a beefy, it's just incredible. Absolutely incredible. So there'll be more meat that'll come out of this piece, but basically we're just gonna sacrifice the two ends as you know, as I mentioned, we'll just cut it into chunks. Okay, then you want to stand this up on its end and begin to slice away this bark that's on the outside. And you don't want to, you want to just get as close as you can. So here's what we want. We want everything to look like this. And this, I suppose you could do something with it, but I don't. I actually just throw it away. You know, I've heard of people drying it out into some kind of jerky, but I don't have a use for it. So all we're gonna do is work our way down and just continue to cut away this bark. And these pieces are about an eighth of an inch thick. And you don't have to overdo it, because once you stake it, you can cut out any little bits that you may want to clean up even further. So all we're doing is making just even cuts, really trying not to waste any of the good aged meat under this bark. And it gets a little tricky when you get on these end pieces. And this is why you want to use a fillet knife, because it bends a little bit with the meat and just helps you not to waste anything. and just go slow. You know, it's better to make a few extra cuts than to risk cutting too far deep into the meat. Okay, this backside is going to be difficult, and because it's so flat, I think what I'm going to do is stake it down and then cut them individually. Because I'm just worried I'm going to get too much, it'll be easier to cut once it's staked. Okay, so once we're ready to start cutting, let's just cut, say, 4 steaks, and then we'll trim them down. So I'm going to go about 1.5 inches. You know, you want to make them meaningful. I mean, you just spent 30 days aging this steak, and you really want to serve an impressive steak. So we got 1. 2, and I'll stop and I'll clean this one up. So I'll set this aside for a minute. And then, so all I'm going to do is come in here and just trim this bark now that I've had this cut down into a steak. And then I'll flip it around on this back side, and we got a little bit of dark meat right here. So I'm just going to clean that up. And that is what you're left with. So there's 1, and there's 2. This one will be a little bit easier to trim because it's flatter. And really just anything that is really dark you want to trim away, or hard. Look at that. So you can see we'll just continue to work our way down the loin. And this is pretty much what the finished product will look like right there. And it's incredible. It is soft, tender. This is going to cook up. It's just going to be amazing. But that is ready for the grill right there. And that is what you should expect. So I'm going to stake these out and then freezer pack them in 2 packs. And then let me show you real quick what I would do with these end pieces. So I would just start working my way around, just cutting the bark away, just as you did on the others. And because I'm going to use this as more of a chop meat, what I'll do is just stake it right down the middle, and then I'll be able to clean up this outside edge. And you know, maybe these will just be smaller servings, because this is an actual pretty thick chunk of meat right here. go. And that right there is ready for the grill. So that's how I manage the ends. And when it gets thin like this, you know, you just do your best. And if it turns into like this, what's happening, if it turns into more of a chopped meat, then you'll find a use for it. I guarantee it. This might go in my eggs tomorrow morning. But that right there is ready to cook, and you know, this one actually is going to go in my eggs. So I'll just cube that down, throw that in a cast iron skillet in the morning. That's going to be a good treat. Anyway, just do the same to the other, and continue to steak this, and you're done. You know, all of this is waste, which really isn't that much when you consider how much meat is left. But just look at that. If you could smell it, it's so great. Okay, this is the pile of meat deliciousness that we have created here. Here's the waste. So not too bad. I'm just gonna throw that away. And you have to just take this in. I got 12 enormous steaks out of this, and each one of them are, you know, about the size of my hand. So like I said, they do lose quite a bit of mass. You know, this steak right here probably lost an inch of mass, but it is thick and dense, and it's just ready to be delicious. So what I do is I freeze these in 2-packs, and then like I said, I've got all of this from the ends here, and all these little chunks, and I'll do something with these, but nothing goes to waste. I'll probably freeze that one because it's pretty good size, but anyway, that is what you can expect. You know, 10 meals or one big party, and you just got to take it in. It's just so wonderful. Okay, there you have it. Count them, 6 packages of 2, so 12 steaks out of that deal. And you know, that one's kind of a thick little one, but you could have probably gotten more if you cut them thinner, but I wanted them to be super thick. So that is what you'll get out of a 20-pound ribeye after 30 days. And also, here's the scraps that I'll use in a stir fry, or you know, maybe some eggs. So all in all, pretty good take. Again, as always, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe. I post new videos all the time.